Hi, I'm David Clarke, and my business is called Marietta Handyman. And the first interaction with my client is usually a smile and a handshake, because I'm in the business of trust. And so everything that I do is for building that trust. The tone of my voice, my body language, giving them how I give them my business card. It's all designed and set up so that we have an initial contact, a connection. And that's probably the very first interaction with a client.
All right, guys. So cool. Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever you're watching this. I'm Brent, proud to be an associate broker with High Caliber Realty. One of the things that I always try to do when I'm determining whether or not a prospect is going to be a client or not is keep in mind the concept of timing and readiness. I learned a long time ago that a job might be available, but you might not be ready for it. Or you might be ready for a job, but the job might not be ready for you. So when I'm talking to a prospect, I'm always thinking about, is the timing of readiness and the timing of what they're trying to do, is that going to work? Or are we just having a casual conversation? I need to put them into a different bucket of time, if you will. So those are a couple of the things that I keep in mind when I meet a prospect for the first time. I'm Brent with High Caliber Realty. Thank you.
Okay, Ted.
Good morning. It's Ted Rutkowski with Sandler Training. They help business owners and sales leaders grow themselves and grow their teams by taking the mystery out of sales. So the question being, how do I interact with somebody who's a brand new client? It's really getting to know as much as I can about that client so I can understand how I'm going to help that person to begin with. So one of the things that we do commonly is we use assessments. It gives us a good understanding of where that person is or where that team is, helps us design how we're going to work together as we develop their skills, their behaviors to become more successful. Again, Ted Rutkowski with Sandler Training.
Keith.
Keith Ivey with Legal Shield. Once a person becomes a member of Legal Shield, the very first thing I do with them is to promise them that as soon as I can get a membership number for them, I will call them with that membership number and the phone call or the phone number of their law firm. That means that within 24 hours of a person becoming a member of Legal Shield, they have the ability to start talking to their law firm, even though they have not received any of their membership credentials from Legal Shield Corporate. As soon as I know that they have talked to or that they've got that information, the next thing I do is 1 week later, I give them a call and find out if they have had an opportunity to start working on their will booklet. Most of our new members do not have a will, and so getting their wills completed is the very first thing we help them do. And if they haven't started that process, I nudge them a little bit, reminding them that that is so critical for them to do and that it is a free service of Legal Shield, so they might as well just start getting that done right now. Then 3 months later, I give them a call and see if they've had any interaction with the law firm. And if so, were they happy with that, the quality of that interaction? So I have 3, 4, maybe 5 touches during the first 5 months of their membership to make sure they're getting the value out of their membership that they expected to get.
Very good. Peter?
Peter Gibson, Harry Norman Realtor with my wife, Isabel Gibson, Team Gibson. And when we have a new client, we actually practice what we promised and communicate. We care. If it's a buyer, then it's critical that we follow through with what we've discovered in the initial relationship that they are looking for. That we, as a team, actually, we don't tend to put people on automatic searches as much. We actually are going in there and digging in on a very personal basis to make sure that the match is made. But it's very much about caring enough to communicate as often as they want on their terms, whether it's text or email. It's very much about showing up and putting time aside. We have a lot of clients that we're juggling, and we have to make sure that they feel like they're the only one. So the combination of my marketing and presentation skills and making sure that they're out there where they need to be seeing, or having as a buyer seeing what they need to see, or as a seller, making sure we're using our creative communication and marketing skills to bring potential buyers in. It's very much about that combination of my efforts and what Isabel then does with her negotiation and contract skills to get them to a close. So communication, I think, is the core, consistent communication. Peter Gibson, Isabel Gibson, Harry Norman, Realtors.
Okay, and finally, me. My name is Gabe ONeill, and I'm the founder of Digital Accelerant LLC. I like to be thought of as an accelerant for your business, so when you throw me at your business, it catches fire, and it's in a really good way, by the way. My first interactions with my client, I pretty much consider myself very different from any other web developer, marketer. The first thing I ask them is, what is their passion? Somehow, if I can do it, I want to tie their passion to their brand, so that when they're in front of people like we are doing right here, they're much more confident about it. They're much more excited about it, and that's contagious. That spreads to other people. So I will ask them about their passion, and sometimes turn their branding on its ear. Of course, I'm all about getting their specifications, but most web developers, when they work, they'll say, okay, what do you want on the site? How many menu items do you want? Across, what do you want, this, that, and the other thing? And I do that to a certain extent, but I just don't spew out what the client tells me to put out. I actually talk with them and converse with them and want to put something out that makes sense and that's going to actually give them a return, not just look cool like the other websites that they see. Matter of fact, we want to look different than the other websites, but we want to make it look very different, and we want to exude something from their own passion so that they can get more looks. So that's me, Gabe ONeill.